A detached home under $1 million within reach of Toronto, most buyers think that's impossible. Absolutely 100% wrong. Here's why. Most people are stuck searching around the subway station, where detached homes average $1.6 to $1.7 million. I have a client, her name's Sarah. She was caught in that trap and felt totally hopeless. But when I was able to shift her search to the GO train line, everything changed for her. Her commute time was almost the exact same, except now she can sit, read, or work instead of fighting through a crowded subway station. And what Sarah discovered was that she was able to afford a detached home in the York Region South Simcoe area with all of the amenities that she never thought she would be able to afford. Today I'm going to show you examples of where those homes are, what they cost, and how you can buy one. Before we dive deeper, take a second to subscribe, like, and share this video so you do not miss more insights like this. The average detached home in Toronto averages $1.6 to $1.7 million. Inventory is relatively tight right now, and everything under $1 million is usually a tear down or in a neighborhood you have no desire to live in. So then when we add the stress test on top of those dollar values, that is how lenders qualify you for your mortgage. They add 2 points above what they have negotiated your contract interest rate. So let's say you were locked in at 4.7%, you were then tested closer to 6.7% to ensure you were able to adjust to interest rates coming up and down. Because of this, many buyers feel like home ownership is a wall they cannot get through. But the GO station line opens doors the subway map will never. Let's start a search in Barrie. I call it the $730,000 sweet spot because the average home is just over $730,000. For just an hour by car or 90 minutes by train, you get a driveway, a backyard, a detached home big enough for a family. Barrie is growing fast as a community. It's got new rec centers happening, a beautiful waterfront redevelopment, and the hospital has lots of expansion plans happening. But it's not just about the infrastructure. Barrie is a thriving restaurant scene with cozy cafes to upscale dining, and it is well known as the gateway to cottage country. For buyers, that means you get city-level amenities with easy access to great weekend adventures. So let's take an example. You can get a late 1980s South End bungalow that sells under $800,000, often with 2 baths and a finished basement. So let's compare that $730,000 3-bedroom detached bungalow to what you could get in Toronto, maybe a 600 square foot condo. So let's look at the Innisfil community, where you have an average sale price of $835,000. So that's under $900 for sure. Innisfil is going to be the home to the new Orbit development project. That is a planned community creatively built and designed around a future GO station on the 6th line. The vision of this is a walkable hub with new homes, retails, and services designed to be enhanced around the transit system. But for buyers today, it signals long-term monetary growth and future conveniences. Well, that's coming down the road. The best part about Innisfil is that it still offers a lifestyle known for its rural pace of life and its easy access to Lake Simcoe without the Muskoka prices. So if we were to give you a comparison, a 1,650 square foot detached home on a 45-foot lot sold last week for $835,000. If I was to give you a comparison, that might be a stacked townhouse in Toronto. Bradford, which is located right off the 400, saw last week an average sale price of $931,000 for a detached home. Bradford are seeing their listings up, and sellers are starting to feel a little nervous, so they are welcoming well-positioned conditional offers. Where in this community, this is where security matters. A 5-minute pre-qualification reads as a maybe to a seller, but if you take the time to have a verified pre-approval with a local lender who knows the marketplace, that has looked at your tax returns, your income, your credit score, and who has picked up the phone and and made a safe bet with the local realtor. Then to a seller, you are a safe bet. In Bradford, you can still find a 3-bedroom, 1,500 square foot detached home around 900K. But realistically, 3 bedrooms plus 1 2-story are typically selling around 990. The good news is they're still under $1 million, and you are minimally 20 minutes closer to Toronto compared to Barrie. That combination of space, price, and commute is what makes Bradford such a strategic marketplace right now. So a good example of a recent sale in Bradford was for $935,000. Was a 4-bedroom, 2-story double car garage. That would be comparable to a 2-bedroom condo pricing in Toronto, where you're looking at a 45-minute commute by car to downtown Toronto and just under 60 minutes by train. But here's the big story. Bradford is positioned for major growth. The population is projected to climb close to 150,000 people in the next 20 to 25 years. With the bypass underway connecting the 404 to the 400, there are new community amenities on the rise. The town is preparing for a new chapter. It already has a beautiful modern community center, a vibrant public square, and a lovely library. A new city hall and theater are in early construction phases, and these projects will reshape the town's core. For buyers in this market, you are not just buying a home, you're buying into a community on the rise. And because it's still early on the go line, you will always get the seat of your choice. Now, if we start to look into York region, East Gwillimbury, Newmarket, Aurora, a detached home is typically in the $1 million range. But with the cooling in the last few months, it's brought down a few lovely little detached finds under the $1 million range. Last week in Newmarket, in the southeast pocket near Bogart Pond, 3 sales occurred between $890,000 and $920,000. If we look at Aurora, a 1970s split level near the GO station is just under $1 million. It's dated, needs work, but it backs onto lovely mature trails. That commute time to downtown Toronto is 40 to 50 minutes by car, 45 to 55 minutes by GO train. Beyond the numbers, Newmarket, East Gwillimbury, and Aurora are established family communities with excellent schools, strong amenities, and a true suburban lifestyle. If your budget allows that entry point, they're outstanding choices for families who want to access quality education, walkable neighborhoods, and a commuting lifestyle that balances work and home life. What does $900,000 actually buy in York region in South Simcoe? So let's talk tangible. In Barrie, if we look at a 1,240 square foot bungalow with 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and a finished basement, you're looking about $899,000 list price. And typically they're selling about $15,000 under list. Bradford saw a home sale last week for $970,000. It was a 2,400 square foot, 2-story, 4-bedroom home that had been on the market for 42 days, but accepted a conditional offer of both inspection and financing. Last week, Innisfil saw a 1,700 square foot that was backing onto a beautiful ravine lot that had a rental unit that was renting out at $16,500 a month, sold firm for $835,000. These aren't unicorns. They're real sales in the $850,000 range to $900,000 that have sold recently. I'd be remiss not to talk about the commuting reality. If you look at Bradford, just off the 400, you're looking at 55 to 60 minute GO train and a 45-minute non-rush hour commute time. Whereas Barrie is definitely an hour and 30 to an hour and 55 minutes by GO, and it's over an hour in non-commute time. But you can't overlook the difference is on the subway, Sarah was standing shoulder to shoulder, and on the GO, she can sit, work, take a breath, and read a book. I was having a conversation with Sarah last week, and she also said another bonus is that she's saving significant money on her insurance, vehicle maintenance, and fuel by avoiding the daily stop and go traffic. For many buyers, that's not a downgrade. It's actually an upgrade in both lifestyle and budget costs. Here are a few lifestyle perks for you. Barrie, property taxes based on a $730,000 home versus a $1.4 million million home in Toronto saves you $350 a month. Think what you can do with $350 a month. A little tidbit. Innisfil's public library actually lends out snowshoes. So that's a great perk. Newmarket and Bradford have beautiful common areas where you have free movies, entertainment, farmers markets, and beautiful splash pads for the kids. What doesn't show up on a spreadsheet are kids can still ride their bikes to school in these communities and parents feel safe letting them. Often buyers forget about down payment and closing costs. If you're looking at $900,000 home, the minimum required down payment is $65,000. In Canada, you need 5% on the first $500,000 and 10% on the final purchase price. That works out to 7.2% of this purchase price. Your mortgage would be about $835,000. And because you're under 20%, CMHC insurance would apply. Depending on how the premium rate was, that could add anywhere from $5,000 to almost $38,000 onto your mortgage value, which gets paid monthly over the life of your loan. If you want to avoid insurance altogether, a full 20% down on that $900,000 would be required, and that is $180,000. By comparison, a $1.4 million home requires a $280,000 down payment to qualify for a mortgage, because homes over $1 million in Canada are not eligible for insured financing at all. This $1 million threshold is a big reason why staying under that mark matters to so many first-time homebuyers, and why along the goal line actually offers a lot of opportunity for the first-time homebuyer. Closing costs will be around $14,000. That includes land transfer, legal, and any adjustments that occur. We are in a different market. Inventory is up. Days on market are 28 versus 9 in 2021, and sellers who overprice are chasing the market. Buyers know what comparables are, and they're expecting quality homes on the market for that price point. But as a buyer, if you are pre-approved, you are in a much stronger position now than you have been in years. You have more inventory, sellers are more flexible, and there is room to negotiate. If you're tired of the subway frustration, the goal line is an option most buyers often overlook. Email me under 900, I'll send you my spreadsheet of every detached home under 900,000 along the goal line, my first-time home buyer's guide, and a list of trusted lenders with today's best rates, hold options. And if you found this helpful, the next video you want to watch is 3 proven ways to afford a home in York Region or South Simcoe. I'll link it in the bio below, so you can keep learning practical strategies that work in today's real estate market. Sarah's experience is just one example, but it reflects what I hear from so many buyers. The subway search feels hopeless until they realize the goal line offers real options. Barrie, Innisfil, Bradford, East Barrie, Newmarket Aurora. They are real communities where detached homes under $1 million are still very much possible. The dream of home ownership in the GTA is not gone. It has just moved a little farther north, where kids can still ride their bikes to school and families have room to grow. Bye for now.